Hello, world, and welcome back to what may be the final episode of What Remains of Edith Finch. Now, I understand we left you on a little bit of a cliffhanger the last episode, and I planned for it to end this weekend. Just based on story progression, I kind of figured it would naturally end this Sunday. Or not this Sunday, but this Monday. But because of the bonus episode, the trajectory looks like it'll be this episode, because we've seen every single family member except for Dawn and Edith. And Edie. I don't know if we'll see anything from Edie, though. We don't even know if we'll experience those stories at all. But we got to experience Milton and Lewis, Edith's brothers, during the last episode. And we've got Milton's little castle down there. He wanted to escape to a better place, is what I assume, with his magic paintbrush. We don't know if he succeeded. We don't know if he's still alive. But Lewis, well, he found escape in another way. He got lost in his imagination, and he lost reality and found, I guess, a world of imagination instead. He ended up committing suicide, I suppose. Seemed like he chopped his own head off at the canning factory. Not the way I would choose to go out, to be honest, but, you know, it's a way.
But it had to end one way or another.
Couldn't have said it better
All that's
myself.
left now was to tell you about that last night.
So what she's referring to, if you don't quite remember, after Lewis's funeral, Dawn wanted to get away, essentially, and they didn't tell Edie until the day before, and she told, and Dawn told Edith to pack her things basically immediately. This is a really nice room, actually. It's nice, Edith. Edith didn't want to leave, but... Oh, that's really cool. Made the house out of newspaper? That's amazing. Man, this family is so creative and artistic and good at writing. Norwegian folktales, yep. They're just a very interesting family. Shame that they were cursed. Or I assume they were cursed. How else would you get a family cursed besides, like, you know, pissing off someone, like, who had that kind of power? Alright, Edith. Time to visit your story, I suppose. Journal of Edith Finch.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
There we go. The grown-ups have to argue now. Oh, that was the dining room there. Doors are closed now.
the power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles.
Huh, music box got moved.
When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance.
There was another entrance.
Or that Edie had a key to it.
Ooh. How do I... Okay, there we go. It wouldn't let me go in for a second. I guess my positioning was just a little bit off. The Aleph sound... They have the king in yellow! Okay, quick thing. I am a huge H.P. Lovecraft fan. So anything in the Lovecraft mythos catches my eye. So that... Ooh. No wonder this family is cursed. If you... Yeah, they read the book. They probably did a play, too, with how creative they are. Now I'm not surprised at all. Long story short, don't mess with that. Don't mess with that stuff, man. Just madness usually comes from most expected mediums like loneliness or like isolation or anything like that, or just despair. It could come from just complete despair. The King in Yellow, he gets to your madness through practically creativity, through like art, basically. He'll mess you up and you won't even expect it. You'll think you're going insane because you're like a literary or artistic genius. No, it's the King in Yellow. You probably messed it with him at some point. Alright, let's keep it going here.
The thing you're afraid of
Now that I
isn't
solved
going
the
to
mystery.
end when you leave the house.
True.
Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories.
Not sure I completely agree with that.
I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight.
I could agree with that, yeah. Just kind of getting away, not living in the same house where so
We'll have
much
the nursing
death has
home
taken
send a
place.
van for you in the morning. Okay?
Nursing home? Aw, don't do that to Edie. She's the longest living Finch. The house isn't gonna get to her. How? Wow. Wait, when did they leave? 'Cause Edith is small. Look at that. Wait, so it was after Lewis's funeral. Let's check the book. 2010. Yeah, so Edith was, like 10, 11 years old. By Edie Finch. Oh, Edie. You clever bat. You clever old woman.
Dear,
Clever girl.
there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born.
Oh?
That night, the tide went way, way out.
So I'm controlling Edie now. I can just tell from looking down. Like, look at that outfit. Yep. Looks like a, actually that's pretty fashionable. Looks like one of those older fashioned women's jackets. I can tell because of the buttons, actually. They used to have those. Instead of flat, they'd do round.
It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years.
Really?
God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life.
Oh. I keep forgetting. Yeah, Edie lived a very long time. I knew she was the oldest living Finch, but I didn't realize it was that long. She's been alive since, yeah, she started the new house and all that. She designed the cemetery. Yeah, dang. That's sad then. Edie got to see all of the death, all of the just horrific things that's happened in this family. And yet she's still optimistic. Or maybe not optimistic isn't the word I'm looking for, but she's still willing to tell these stories and keep moving on. That's inspiring, almost.
But I never thought I'd go back to it.
Why would
When
you?
the fog rolled in, I lost my way.
Nostalgia, I guess. Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay, I turned my camera a little bit. I could tell which direction to go because of the text. So I turned my camera just a little bit, and I completely lost my way. I now understand people that get lost. I almost never get lost because I know general directions. Oh dang, this is so foggy. This is the worst.
I turned around.
Did you? Rock face? Okay, not the way to go. So, okay, we'll go 180 degrees.
I started seeing things.
Oh, This is like The Mist. Was that written by Stephen King? I don't even remember. Oh, whoa! What did it jump over? Is there anything there? There's nothing there. That was a hallucination. Complete hallucination.
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed.
Okay, now I have a feeling the game is just teleporting me around.
But when I saw them, they felt like old friends.
Bed frame. It sounds weird, but have you guys ever, like, felt nostalgic for, like, a bed? Like, a place to rest? Even the frame itself. It's weird. It brings a smile to my face when I think about it. The places that I've rested, that I could consider part of my home. Just the details that you can remember. I remember that I received, in my earliest memories, a bed frame that used to be my older half-brother's. And, you know, he had his issues, and on the bed frame, I remember, it took me years to find it, but he had carved his real name onto the bed frame underneath the bed on one of the corners. And the funny thing is, I never knew his real name. It came as a complete shock to me. I had always called him by his nickname. And one of the things I regret is that, well, let's just say in my culture, the nickname that he was given is actually an honorary term. It's very respectful. You know, it means older brother, right? Like, you could say that pretty much to anyone that's around that's like slightly older than you. You can call them older brother, and it's very respectful. But I remember my dad called him by that nickname for disrespectful reasons for so long. And I never called him that nickname until my dad prompted me to. So, I guess I'd wish to tell my big brother that I always meant it in the most honorary and respectful terms that I could. I did not mean to disrespect him in any way. This game's getting to me. Whew.
That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them.
For the record, we're cool now. Me and my older brothers, both of them. We're tight. Can't believe she found her way to the
Things
house.
I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's
Oh,
mine.
no.
Edith!
Mom, you're
Mine.
gonna rip it. Let
Give it.
go.
Give it! Give it!
I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car, and I never saw Great Grandma Edie again.
Aw. Edith? Or Edie?
The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone.
She was gone? Where did
After
Edie
that,
go?
We moved around a lot.
Woo. I did this too as a kid.
We both tried to make the best of it.
I get wanting to have like the
A few
best for
years
your
went
child,
by.
but avoiding what you fear is the same thing as being obsessed over it, is what I've learned. Yeah, they're opposites, but
My mom
either
didn't
way,
like to talk about
you're
it,
spending your whole life focusing on the same thing.
but she started getting sick a lot.
So, Dawn and
The rest
Edie are just
happened
two
pretty
sides of
quickly.
the spectrum. Oh.
She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this.
So her whole
If we
journal
lived
is-
forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is,
Yeah.
I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is.
We're in the womb here. She's writing her whole journal to her unborn child. Preparing him with the tales she's learned.
This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it.
Oh.
I just want to meet you. And tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way.
Oh. Oh no.
This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Aww. Died in 2017. Wow, just whew, that is a kicker. The funny thing is I suspected. Remember when I said that me and the developers were kind of on a similar, a parallel mind track? And I don't know. I think me and my sister have a gift for seeing tragedy and for predicting it. So just amazing. And that message from Edith at the end of just being glad that you're here at all is a vital part of life. Even if it ends in tragedy. Just wow, just powerful message. Just oh man. Parts of the story got to me. I'll admit it. Like just some of it, it's so relatable because everyone has tragedy in their lives, and how you deal with it is what defines you in a way. And I would say I'm very mentally and spiritually strong. Is what I am. And in a way that makes me hardier than most people, but at the same time it makes me, like, I would say lonelier too, because it makes me want to deal with things on my own terms, in my own way, even if I'm on my own. And most of the time I am on my own because I have such radical viewpoints on things that I often make enemies more than I make friends. But the friends that I do make, they're often friends for life. So I'm not disappointed or regretful about anything. And just that's a message that I think resonates with this game, is just being glad you're here at all and you're able to have an opinion and you're able to do all these things is part of life. Yeah. It's a vital part of life. Fearing, death or tragedy is just, it won't work out for you. To steal a quote from the film Van Wilder, you should not take life too seriously you'll never get out of it alive. Which is a silly message, but there's a grain of truth in that. More than a grain of truth. So I just want to thank you guys once again for watching this series and commenting and leaving your likes. I can't even express how much that means to me. Like, this... I am speechless. It's amazing. I'm honored. This is the very first completed Let's Play we've ever done on this channel. I'm biting my thumb. It's just... I'm smiling. There are tears in my eyes. They're not leaking because, you know, gotta keep up that American culture of masculinity, and I can't cry, but... it's so beautiful. The end. I might do that. I might replay this story. Whew. This is the menu now. Just... I'm speechless. I'm speechless. Thanks for stopping by. I'm grateful to every single one of you. Go ahead and leave a comment if you've enjoyed this series, and if you're as depressed and elated and ecstatic as I am. Because I'm so honored that this game is my first finished Let's Play, my first completed one. I'm so honored. So honored to have you guys here. So leave that comment. Please consider subscribing if you've enjoyed coming on this journey with me. There's so much more to come. There's so much more to experience. And we've got Dawn's picture that just showed up. I just noticed that. And so we've completed the family. Alright, guys. I've got to go recover from this and salvage my weekend. Try to have a good time. And go ahead and check out my other series. And also, one more vital, important message. If you have a game in mind that you think I would enjoy, or that you would enjoy seeing me playing, leave a comment in the discussion below. Leave a comment, suggest a game. I would love to hear your ideas. I am down to play pretty much anything, and even horror games, which usually get on my nerves, and I run away from. I would even do that. Just anything you can think of to fill that time slot of Saturday and Monday. I am taking any nominations, and I would love to hear your guys' opinions. Alright, guys. That'll do it. Try and salvage your weekend, too. Take care.